Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of James Bond Bitcoin Live 00130 hashtag Eco Warrior. So, hopefully, everyone's doing well. I'm doing a little bit better. Thank you for asking. My cold is kind of doing all right. At times, it's really bad, other times, it's kind of good. Anyways, I'll try to make it through this episode, and hopefully, there won't be any interruptions. So let's go and take a look at the notes here real quick. These are the things I'll be talking about. Bond trading view. If you don't know what that is onchainfx.com. It lets me customize the view and allows me to share it with you. That's in the note section there. I basically make a list of top 55 coins and tokens compared to Bitcoin percentage and all-time high. And I flag it for shorts. So if you have an altcoin, I'm going to show you how you can make the most Bitcoin out of your altcoin, if possible. So that's what that is. Also in the note section here, I have Bitcoin Gold Underground Scandals. Now this is coming from the crypto type, also known as James. He was also known as Bitcoin, his channel. I have a link to his video. He gives you an update on everything that's happening with the Bitcoin Gold My BTG wallet hack. So he keeps you up to date on that. I'm not going to be talking about it too much, but I do get my information from other YouTubers as well. It's kind of helpful that he keeps up to date on that information and lets everyone know. And I think everybody else should know, especially if you've been a victim of my BTG wallet and another wallet apparently on the Bitcoin Gold website. So go ahead and check out that video. Keep up to date on that. It's always good, juicy gossip. Staying up to date with all these weird things is kind of fun. Here's what I will be talking about today. Super Bitcoin hard fork to launch Tuesday to make Bitcoin great again. Now, originally I thought it was going to be on the 17th, but maybe because of the faster block times, we're coming up to Super Bitcoin hard fork. I should probably go over it one more time, make sure that the block height and everything is correct, and it will be happening Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So we'll have another hard fork tomorrow if this is true. So I'll go over that. Here's another one. SEC halts multi-million-dollar Munchee ICO for security violations. This is coming from coindesk.com. I'll talk about it briefly. The source of this news is apparently from the SEC itself. Company halts ICO after SEC raises registration concerns. So apparently enforcement action is being taken on ICOs now. Any ICOs that are within the reach of the SEC enforcement will probably be getting a letter here or a call from the SEC, and maybe even a stop and desist order. If it's really bad, maybe some penalties and fines. If it's really, really bad, probably some jail time. Anyways, also after that is a statement on cryptocurrencies and initial coin offering from the SEC Chairman Jay Clayton. That is also, that was today actually, coming from the SEC.gov website. I'll briefly go over that as well. So it looks like a fair warning has been given, and I think the ICO market is pretty much dead. Anybody who's talking about ICOs at this point is probably trying to scam you. All right, and just a little clue, heads up, no one has registered with the SEC to this date. Nobody. So what does that mean? It seems like any ICOs, if not all ICOs, are all unlicensed security offerings now, for the most part. Even if they consider it a utility token, because Munchee, the Munchee ICO, that was supposed to be a utility token, and it kind of meets the definition of a security. So I think the safe bet is to say that all ICOs are securities. And so I think that's pretty much the death of the ICO market for any of these chains, uh, more specific to Ethereum, Waves, Next, maybe even Omni as well. Okay, so next in the note section is, can environment shoulder the cost of crypto mining? So this is kind of where I'm going with the meme today. There's been several concerns and articles that raise the question of whether cryptocurrency mining, more in particular about Bitcoin mining, is it sustainable? Because apparently the energy to mine Bitcoin apparently is like 1 month's worth of a household of energy. But I would argue a little different. I did say in my interview on Crush the Street, in my interview with Crush the Street, that I believe that Bitcoin's potential greatest purpose or potential greatest use case is to incentivize all of humanity to find a better energy source than what it is or what it's been finding right now, to come up with a better energy source. So because if people want to continue mining up to the year, 2140, well, I think you're going to have to probably find a new energy source that is cheaper, possibly renewable, cleaner, and hopefully very close to infinite, if not infinite. So I'll talk about energy sources. There's a lot of things that I think these eco warriors, or I would call them a subcategory of social justice warriors. Originally, I was going to call this episode hashtag SJW, the social justice warriors, but I think eco warriors more fits in line with this episode today. So I'll talk about that. I'll get into that a little bit later. And then finally, Bitcoin becomes second most popular Wikipedia page. Apparently, it seems that people are either Googling Bitcoin, looking up Bitcoin, searching for Bitcoin, and those trends, according to the internet, are trending upwards. And so that's really good. That's actually a very good metric to determine, the interest of Bitcoin, and the interest of Bitcoin is rising. A little side note today, I also saw Roger Ver on CNBC. When I had cable, I used to watch that show all the time. Now it's a little different. Now that I'm so deep in Bitcoin and I understand the intricacies of Bitcoin, and then I watch CNBC and I hear Roger Ver talk about Bitcoin and how it's all slow and it's not going to do great, and he was really pumping his Bcash. And then the panelists, I mean, the newscast people talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. It really opened my eyes that the fact that these news shows aren't really news shows. They're just a platform for advertising, very similar to a lot of the YouTube channels that you probably watch or have been watching, or you've done a search on and then you watch from that. They're nothing more than promotion and advertisement. Excuse me. And so realizing that, it's kind of different. when you're really involved in a movement and in a community, and then you hear other people talk about it on mainstream news channel, it's almost like, there's a total disconnect between what you're seeing on supposedly on mainstream media and what you know as fact. So anyways, I'll be going over those things today. Let me go over the rest of the note section. Coin Spectator, real-time cryptocurrency news aggregator. Crypto Panic is a news aggregator platform indicating impact on price and markets for traders and cryptocurrency enthusiasts. Next, I have It's Time to Stop. It's time to stop meme. It's time to stop with all these hard forks. If you look in that section, you'll notice I've taken out a lot of links. Well, not a lot, but quite a few. And what do I have left? I have Bitcoin Uranium. We'll see if any gullible fool picks up on that. I think Bitcoin Uranium is not going to happen, but who knows? Bitcoin Cash Plus. Bitcoin Classic. Super Bitcoin, which I'll be going over today. Let's see if that's coming up really soon. And then Bitcoin Diamond. Sure, I'm still streaming. Yep. Bitcoin Diamond BID ticker symbol. And then Bitcoin Diamond BCD ticker symbol. And also Bitcoin X BCX, which is a new one that I put in, recently found out about. I think this may be real. I did take out Bitcoin Platinum because I know that's fake, or pretty much I'm pretty sure, almost with certainty, that is fake. It's a scam. And I also saw another potential hard fork that was going to happen like tomorrow, but it was like, let me see, what was it called? United Bitcoin. But I think that's also a scam, so I'm not going to quite put it on in the note section here because, better safe than sorry. Also, in the note section, I have a list of airdrops updated October 29th. Actually, I checked with it a couple days ago, but it's a list of airdrops from cryptocurrencies.com/airdrop. And if, you like money falling from the sky, the site may be for you. It's a list of free airdrops. Okay, also in the notes section, partitioned off, I have a whole bunch of links to some helpful websites that you might be interested. SegWit charts, if you want to know the SegWit adoption rate and transaction. Coin Codex, which is a listing platform very similar to coinmarketcap.com. Livecoin Watch, I love that. I enjoy that listing platform. They have a 30-day, and the percentage, and also the graph that it shows. I have it to 90 days, so you can get a better perspective of how well your cryptocurrency is performing, and get a better idea, because you get 30 and 40-day in a 24-hour period, but in a week you can get 100 to 200 to almost 1,000% increase and decrease. So you really have to step back, because as the prices of these cryptocurrencies increases, the percentages may remain the same, but the dollar amount is quite a bit. Like Bitcoin just moved $1,000 today, or maybe even a little bit more than $1,000. And that's pretty much only what, 1 to 10%? Oh, not 1 to 10%. That's I think it's somewhere 8 to 10%, which is normal for a daily move. Now, apparently, moving $1,000 is normal for Bitcoin. And then what else do I have here? Oh, I have CoinGecko, another listing platform, a little different. BitInfo Charts, a little listing platform, but more for the fundamental mining information, block size, block times, hashing rates. And then I have Joho's mempool statistics, very useful site to help determine what your transaction fee should be in Satoshis, so you can get into the next block. You'll see the mempool. And also Salome.io, very useful listing platform that measures social medium, right? Social media volume. So you'll get an idea of coins being pumped, mostly being pumped, because after the pump, then you'll see it go kind of into the negative, which means the pump is over. You should start dumping, or it is already being dumped. Very useful platform. Very useful. I have to admit, I enjoy going to that site and seeing all the pumps that are coming. Transaction accelerator. Maybe you need it. Maybe not. I'll go check it. I'll go check the mempool. And then Bitcoin Cash hash rate, historical historical chart 6 months. If you want to compare between the two blockchains that compete for the same mining hashing power. All right, next in the notes section is, can Bitcoin be replaced by a multiple hard forks? James Bond interview, Crush the Street, published November 9th, interview November 7th. Check it out. I say some interesting things. Also, collecting your free Bitcoin gold with Coinami. Hopefully by now you've gotten your Bitcoin gold. If you haven't already been scammed for your Bitcoin gold, go and use a trusted wallet or a trusted way to split your forked coins. You know, don't rely on an online wallet made by some unknown person. And if you still need some extra help and guidance, I did make a video how to split Bitcoin Gold BTG01 using your Coinami wallet. So that should be very helpful. And if any reason you cannot use Coinami wallet because you have an Apple or whatever, you can use the mnemonic code converter from Coinami. It's their recovery phrase tool. You can actually import your mnemonic seed to that site offline as well, and just select the coin, which would be Bitcoin Gold or any other thing that you want to split. If you haven't split your Bitcoin Cash, you can split your Bitcoin Cash that way as well. But that link is there for you as well. And then I have Bitcoin Gold, but I wouldn't recommend going there because you might get a virus from just going to the website and it'll steal all your Bitcoins. Very scary. All right, and finally in the note section, if you watch this video or any other cryptocurrency video or YouTuber and you see an advertisement for BitConnect, usually by someone named Craig Grant or his mistress, Juliana, you might want to read these articles first. Why has ICO Index labeled BitConnect as an outright fraud? Notice regarding high yield coins on top of BitConnect. What is BitConnect and why have we decided to distance ourselves from it? So if you still need some extra guidance, check out James Bond Bitcoin Live 0017, where I interview 3 BitConnect users. And apparently the whole world is nothing but a Ponzi to them. I got 2 of them rage quit. One of them was stupid enough to stick around to let you know where you could find him. And the 4th guest was not involved in BitConnect, and even he can see that BitConnect is a Ponzi. And I had special guest appearance with Ozzy the BS Filter, who still to this date can't determine whether BitConnect is a Ponzi. All right, and then, okay, so last but finally in the notes section that's been partitioned off, I have the video theme to this video, which is a 2007 Kia Niro Hero's Journey, starring Melissa McCarthy, Eco Warrior. Fun, very fun video to watch. It's a commercial, of course, for Kia, but I'm not advocating anybody buy Kia. But have you ever noticed that a lot of these social justice warriors, in particular eco warriors, they tend to want to save the world, either hugging a tree or whatever, doing an activity, planting a tree or whatever they do, you know, recycle and all that other stuff, buy solar, buy wind. But, you know, they seem to forget or not understand that the energy it costs to produce solar panels is more than the actual savings the solar panel will give you or ever offer you in its entirety of its life. Plus, it doesn't last forever. So what do you do with a solar panel that doesn't work? You have to throw it away, again, creating more waste. So you produce more energy and you created a waste, and yet you didn't receive the energy savings from creating it, nor even disposing of it while using the solar panel. Same thing with wind. The amount of energy that it costs to produce the wind turbines, right, will not ever, the wind turbine itself will never generate enough energy savings for its own production, let alone its own use. And then on top of that, what do you do after its usefulness? You have to dispose of it somehow. So it costs even more energy to do that. So ironically, the best thing to do is not even use those things. Ironic, isn't it? And so anyways, I'll be talking a little bit more about that. Then I have the hashtag yes2x100, what you're looking at now. Hopefully you're enjoying the irony of this. And I'll talk a little bit about that. Save the planet. How do you save the planet? HODL Bitcoin. All right, I'll talk a little bit more about that. Let me continue on here. Pot of Gold. I also have a link to Pot of Gold. I also have the donation address to the Bitcoin Pot of Gold. It is a SegWit address. All right, excellent. Let's all see who is in the live chat here right now. All right, so I see dual overhead camness. Brian as well. There was a James Bond live. Somebody pretending to be me, interestingly enough. Brian, 21 Million Club. M. Rocky, good to have you back. Is this the top? Should I sell it all? Should I go all into IOTA? Sure, why not? Sell, 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 sell. Why not? Seems to work out for everybody else who's sold so far. They all lost out on a good opportunity. Let me see here. DD8209, hello. And Julie G, good to see you. Jacob TS. So let's see who else is all in here. AcU5, how you doing, AcU5? Good to see you in the chat. And then Q Burrow, good to see you, Q Burrow. Okay, welcome to the chat, everybody. Hopefully you'll have fun. Let me see, DD8209, what are you saying here? Are you saying, fun fact, before the word Ponzi, it was Miller. Interesting. So that's a good fun fact. But I guess the current term, and now it's Ponzi now. That's been the most popular term before then. I'm sure there's always been a scheme like that. You know, if you look at the pyramids of Egypt, I wonder if they were trying to tell you something, how they got rich. They basically got rich off the people that they were Ponziing or pyramiding from in a way. So anyways, let's take a look here and let's go over the meme. Save the planet, HODL Bitcoin, or the more, I guess, recent acronym for HODL. If anybody knows how the word HODL came to be, you know that the word HODL came to be because it was a misspelling from a drunken BitcoinTalk.org user. So the word would be hold, but it was misspelled HODL from a drunken Bitcoin Talk user. But since it's been so popularized, and I guess it's become its own meme in its own right, HODL has now become hold on for dear life. So that's a meme that is now taking over. It's on its own the meaning of HODL, hold on for dear life. So hold on to dear life your Bitcoins. Save the planet. Now, how can holding or hodling your Bitcoin save the planet? Well, if you listen to my interview on Crush the Street, interview that I had, uh, I say some interesting things. And one of those things was that perhaps the greatest use the greatest use case for Bitcoin may be the fact that um, the energy it takes to secure the network and to also keep the mining going, the amount of energy it takes to keep doing that, it would force at least the community, and I would even argue all of humanity, to come up with a better energy solution to continue on with this very, very, very expensive, very high net asset worth commodity to keep it going. And over time, as the mining and the halving continues, and if the mining continues to grow, and perhaps even with the second layer or the third layer or the fourth layers, we use electricity quite often, quite actually all the time. If you ever look at the satellite image of Earth at night, you could see which areas of the Earth are using electricity. It's typically Europe. In America, it would be mostly on the eastern part of the United States, and then you kind of see nothing from Wyoming, Nevada. I mean, other than the big cities, it's just darkness. And then you see obviously San Diego, Los Angeles, and then San Francisco, and then up in the western states, Portland and Seattle. That's where you see the bright lights from outer space. So electricity is highly, highly important. And so a lot of these social justice warriors don't realize where their electricity comes from. And if you're living in a city and you have your computer on, or you have your lights on at night, guess what? You're using fossil fuels. All right, as much as people don't like to admit it. And not only are you not using fossil fuels, I would say 10% of that electricity is coming from a nuclear power plant. So 10% is coming from nuclear power plant. Additional 10% is coming from a coal power plant or coal fire power plant. And that's usually the baseline. That's the baseline. And then during the day, your energy is coming from a natural gas power plant as they're being fired up. And basically, for the most part, they're just burning water, right? They're heating up water to basically create expansion of air molecules into a turbine that creates electricity. And that's how you're getting most of your electricities if you're in a city or an urban area, even in suburbs. So you're probably asking, what about wind, and what about the solar panel? Well, as I already mentioned, the energy it costs to produce those items, the solar panel itself and the wind turbine itself, you'll never recover the energy. You'll never recover the energy in using the solar panel and the actual wind turbine. So the energy that's produced is not enough savings for the cost of energy that it took to actually create the solar panel and wind turbine. So you wasted more energy in creating them. You won't get it back when you use them. All right, and not only that, most of these energy sources, these quote unquote alternative energy sources, don't come, or they're not. You're not using them technically, because if you're not in the middle of a windy desert, or in a flat windy plain, or in the Appalachian Mountains somewhere where it's maybe windy, If you're not someplace windy or maybe out in, I don't know, uh, in the ocean somewhere, you see wind turbines in the ocean, middle of nowhere. That energy, that electricity, is not being used by you in the inner city or in the suburbs. Okay, and as far as the solar panel, so same thing with the solar panel as well. Those things are not used, right? Even though you purchase from a wind solar panel electricity company, doesn't mean you're getting that wind and solar energy. You're probably most likely getting energy from either a natural gas turbine, a coal power plant, or a nuclear power plant. That's the reality. But these social justice warriors, their thinking is, if they support a company that claims to have some kind of wind power or solar power, which most of them don't. They don't own any wind power. They don't own any solar. They just sell electricity to you, and if you bought into their marketing, that's what you got. What else? Let's see. As far as mining goes, I would say Bitcoin mining, they are using the most alternative energy sources that could give them the cheapest cost of electricity. So far, use of um, geothermal electricity, you see that in Greenland. Hydropower, you see that all over China and in Washington. And remember, a lot of these places are in the middle of nowhere. People don't have their houses or businesses around a geothermal a geothermal plant. Okay, they're usually often miles away because it's not pleasant to be there. Nor is it pleasant to be around a dam. So these energy sources that people think that are producing energy for them, they're not receiving that energy. They're really receiving a coal power plant, nuclear power plant, or natural gas. So the concept and ideas of these eco warriors, they're out there. They like to feel good, but in reality, the things that they do and they practice aren't real, are not real at all. Anyways, let me go on to the article here. Let's go on to the rest of the show. Hey, Andy Anderson, I see you in the chat. Welcome to the channel. All right, so let's go on. All right. The Bitcoin pot of gold. Of course, I will be going over the. I'll be doing I'll be going over the fees and the mempool, and I'll do a chart analysis of Bitcoin towards the end of the live stream. So this is a Bitcoin pot of gold. Please feel free to donate. Here's the donational address. Donational address is a SegWit address. If you donate, I can give the 8th clue to the 8th word of the 24-word mnemonic seed. Basically, it's a fun way to get other people to figure out the mnemonic seed. Or if you're crafty enough, the QR code on the right here is the encrypted private key. And if you have a SegWit wallet, you should be able to scan it. And then if you know the private word or the password, you'll be able to sweep the private key or sweep the Bitcoins. If you don't have a SegWit wallet, you'll probably have to use a decoder, some kind of encrypted private key decoder, and then use a SegWit, reveal the private key and use some kind of SegWit sender. I think Kyle Honeycutt made one. I had an interview with him. So anyways, and then the QR code down here is a link to Yellow Fever for you. If you use a barcode scanner or a regular QR code scanner, it should take you to his YouTube channel, Yellow Fever for you. He's the one that gave me that idea. Thank you. All right, let me go on here. I think there's about $100 in there. It should be more now. It should be way over $100. But I need someone to donate into it so I can give it the 8th clue to the 8th word. I haven't checked it, so if you already did, thank you very much. It makes it fun for the audience. All right, so here is OCFX on-chain FX website. It is a website that lets me customize the view. This is the bond trading view, as you see right up here, bond trading view. This view created by James Bond Bitcoin Live lists of top 55 coins and tokens compared to Bitcoin percentage and all-time high, flagged for shorts. Now, if you notice my flagged for shorts, this is where it is. I make one every day. Every day it changes because, you know, the market changes and it's getting a little smaller. So not too many opportunities to make more Bitcoins off of these altcoins. They're getting limited. But today looks like a good day in US dollar. Let me see what it is in Bitcoin. Okay, wow. Well, if you got any of these coins right now, you should probably think about dumping them or shorting them or looking for an exit for more Bitcoin because they, compared to Bitcoin, they've gone up in value compared to, you know, the Bitcoin value. Let me change that back to US dollar. And they're listed by high priority. So Ethereum's like on top. So that is a high priority to basically dump some Ethereum to get more Bitcoin. And then low priority, which is NEM or XEM, which is NEM. That's so stupid. Why would you name your token XEM ticker symbol when the name of your cryptocurrency is NEM? You figure you might as well make it NEM. Kind of dumb. All right, so I'll be going over this. I'll be going over the short list here of these tokens, and we'll go over them one by one. But that's a little bit later on. Let's see here. All right, Super Bitcoin hard fork to launch Tuesday, which is I think tomorrow, to make Bitcoin great again. If you don't know about Super Bitcoin, we'll go over that as well. Let me see, it says block here on the bottom. Let me highlight that. There it is. It says block 498888 to occur Tuesday, December 12th. So I guess the block times are a little faster. We'll go over the block times real quick and just want to keep that up. Let everybody know because there's a good chance that if you have Bitcoin, you're going to get some Super Bitcoin. And we might even go over the website one more time. Let's see how it's changed and what it is. And we'll take a quick look at that. Matter of fact, let me see here. What is trade? We'll go to trade block. What is the current block height? We should figure that out. Will Campbell, welcome to the live chat. You made it just in time. All right, just waiting for it to load. All right, so wow, the mempool has dramatically gone down quite a bit. All right, we're on block 498851, so we're very close. We are very close, and I don't know what the block times are, but it looks like it is faster because originally the Super Bitcoin was supposed to be on December 17th, but because the block times are faster, I'm assuming because there's a lot of hashing power going onto the Bitcoin blockchain. Last time I checked, it was I think it was almost at 13 EO hashes. So it wouldn't surprise me if there is even more now. It's probably been adjusted upwards. ActU5, you asked me how would I go about paying taxes this year? Should I assume 30% on gains? Well, you know what, IQ5, if you're not sure, I would say overpay, because you can always file next year and get some of the overpayment back if you find someone crafty enough to do your taxes. Now, the problem I have is that, and let's take a quick look at the mempool. I'm kind of curious. The problem I have is that Bitcoin, it's so new to tax preparers and people who do taxes, that they don't even know how to even implement taxes. That's kind of scary. And so, I don't know. Go ask your tax preparer. They probably don't know what to do, and if it's not a lot or even untraceable to you, I wouldn't even bother, because it probably complicate things more than anything else. And if you haven't been keeping records, it's even worse. So if you haven't been keeping records, then you would have to. It'd be everything based on the total sale price. So if you sold like let's say you sold $10,000, but you didn't keep track of what price you bought it, then you know you would kind of have to claim $10,000 as your profit. So I wouldn't bother. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't bother really, unless you're doing a lot and you're doing it consistently over like a lot of period. Yeah, if it's not a lot, you know, I wouldn't even worry about it. Just put the money in your pocket, and then I don't know, go buy some weed. That's what everybody else does. So okay, this is the mempool. So it's not that bad. It's still 100 to 140 satoshis per byte. It's based on this level right here, right here, right there. It's about, let's see here. That's 100. That's 100. 5,000 transactions in 100 satoshi per byte, which isn't too bad. You could be just slightly above 100, and you should be all right. Okay, interesting. All right, let me go on to the next thing here. All right, SEC halts multi-million-dollar Munchee ICO for security violations. I had to figure out what that was. First, I was gonna say Munchee, or I didn't know what it was. But it's Munchee because it was a ICO to kind of have a Yelp and an Instagram kind of mixed together. It was supposed to create a platform for, I'm assuming, for food and restaurants. Let me see, how did it describe this ICO company? Yeah, it was like Yelp meets Instagram, and that was its pitch. And then if you bought into the ICO, you got their token, which apparently, even though it was considered a utility token, that the SEC, after looking at it, has determined that it is a security, even though they claim that it was a utility token. And so when I saw that and I read it, I have to admit, you're going to have to assume that all ICO initial coin offerings will be considered a security, even though if they claim that this is just a utility token. Uh, there's only going to be two types of ICOs at this point. It's going to be an exit ICO, where you put money into it and they leave, which we've seen. And then it's going to be a donational ICO. In other words, you're just giving money away, and you're just going to get a token for a thank you, and that's about it. You're not going to have a secondary market to this. So now that the SEC has pretty much, I think, in my opinion, are going to determine all ICOs. For the most part, most ICOs are going to be unregistered and unlicensed security offerings. All the exchanges that are selling your, your IOTAs, your whatever, your NEO, um, gosh, there's a huge list of tokens here. Let me see here. Let's go to Coin Livecoin, Livecoin, or actually Coin Codex or Coin. Let's just go to Coin Market Cap real quick. We'll take a look at some of the ICO tokens. How you doing, FUD Machine? Here, coins and tokens. Okay, here. Let's just go top 100. So all these tokens are pretty much going to, I think, are for the most part, they're going to be all considered securities. Okay, and if you have these, um, here's my take on this. If you have, like, check this out. They even Tether is considered a token. In some ways, it is. It's on the Omni network, right? So this, even Tether may be considered a security to some degree, even though it's supposed to like represent a utility for being a dollar. But all these tokens here, which are basically, most of it's on Ethereum, Omni, Next. What's another one? Omni, made safe coins on Omni. What is there? There's Neo. Gas is a is on the Neo platform. What? Let me see. A lot of it's Ethereum. Oh my God. Counterparty, it maybe it depends. But a Gen right here on Next. BitShares, this Yo-Yo W or whatever it is. Inc on Qtum, the Qtum network. All these here most likely will be considered, even Waves. There's a Waves platform. What else? What other ones? Okay, so probably there's a really good chance that most of these ICO tokens will be considered an unlicensed security offering at some point in time. Now, the only way they can not be considered a security is if they are literally a donation, right? Or well, worst case scenario, they're exit scamming. They're going to become exit scams, or they're going to be a donation. In other words, they have no market value. So these tokens literally have no market value. So once that happens, the exchanges that offer these tokens, okay, the exchanges that offer these tokens, they're not going to list your tokens anymore, because then that means the exchanges themselves have become an unlicensed broker. So it's bad enough that they're being scrutinized for being a money transmitter in a lot of ways. Now they're going to have to be licensed to become a securities broker or a securities exchange. And so they have two options. They have to comply with regulations, and maybe a lot of them are, because you've seen Bittrex all of a sudden wanting your information. So is Poloniex, and basically most of the exchanges that are offering any Ethereum or any Ethereum ERC20 tokens, they're going to be wanting your ID. So if you're trying to stay anonymous, there's no place for you to go other than maybe Ether Delta. But if you think about it, why would anybody want to offer their Ethereum for your tokens that you can't cash out anywhere? That's not going to happen. So if you're looking for Ether Delta to come bail you out on your bags, your bag of tokens, or I should say bag of hot air or bag of farts, that's not going to happen. No one's going to offer you their, probably most likely Ethereum But even Ethereum may be in jeopardy. Ethereum itself was an ICO as well. So anyways, let's go on to the next thing here. So that's that. Go ahead. That's in the note section. Check it out. Go read it for yourself. Here's the actual source of the information coming from the SEC.gov website. Company halts ICO after SEC raises registration concern. Looks like a California-based company selling digital tokens to investors to raise capital for its blockchain-based food review service halted its initial coin offering after being contacted by the Securities and Exchange Commission and agreed to an order in which the commission found that its conduct constituted unregistered security offers and sales. And I think after even raising $15 million, they had to refund the users. So users had to be refunded. So, but yeah, Qbro, you're right. All exchanges that are offering these so-called tokens, basically unlicensed securities, will now have to fall under SEC rules. And so the only other options for these exchanges are pretty much to comply with the regulations and become regulated and come into compliance, or they're going to stop listing these tokens. They're going to stop listing them. And so now you as a token holder, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? There's not too many places to go. So if you're holding any or all of these tokens, you might want to consider finding an exit. All right, if you don't want to, do any know your customers, if you don't want to offer up your ID, you may want to start looking for an exit on some of these, because I do think regulation is coming. So here's another one. Coming from, this is a public statement from the SEC, a statement on cryptocurrencies and initial coin offerings. SEC Chairman Jay Clayton. I'll just read the first paragraph here for you. It says, the world's social media platforms and financial markets are abuzz about cryptocurrencies and initial coin offerings, ICOs. There are tales of fortunes made and dreamed to be made. We are hearing the familiar refrain. This time it's different. Well, I don't think so. So this is another public statement coming from the chairman, Jay Clayton. And I think it's pretty obvious that their intentions are going to be to start enforcement. So if you have, again, if you have any of these tokens, you probably want to start finding an exit. Sell it to the next greater fool who's stupid enough to like actually buy this from you. Or if you're on an exchange, you may want to start an exit. And just to let you know, in this public statement, it was determined, all right, it's already determined that Bitcoins are a commodity and they're actually regulated by the CFTC if you're trading on the exchanges. So even cryptocurrencies, which are, I guess, a commodity in some form of fashion, because you're mining, you're doing work to generate these coins, receiving rewards, technically rewards, or you're producing them in some ways, but you're doing work for them. The exchanges will then have to be regulated under the CFTC. So there will still be some kind of know your customers and anti-money laundering policies implemented by these exchanges. So other than the peer-to-peer market, the peer-to-peer market's the only last bastion of unregulated activity, and it's designed that way because you cannot regulate the individual user. You can't regulate the owners of these commodities if they're benefiting if they're benefiting from the trade themselves in a directly one-to-one peer-to-peer trade. So the peer-to-peer market, it will be the only unregulated trade that you can do at this point. And if you don't have that kind of um, experience, chances are you're holding a bag. Even if you own Bitcoin, you're holding bags. Although I think it'll be very easy for you to find a seller and a buyer of Bitcoin. Or if you're holding Bitcoin, I think it's a lot easier to sell Bitcoins in the open market than it is for again, any of these tokens right here, because I'm pretty sure that if you go to an Ethereum meetup, no one's going to buy your tokens. Nobody. Yeah, it could be me. IQ5. I do go to California quite often. If you're in Southern California, I do go there. I go to Southern California quite a bit, and you never know. I do go to meetups quite a bit. You know, so there you go. Let me see. Okay, so let's go on to the next thing here. Is can the environment shoulder the cost of crypto mining? Now, I think they're mostly talking about, uh, well, I guess they're talking about GPU miners as well. This idea that if your cryptocurrency goes to a proof of stake and you don't need mining anymore, uh, the fact is that you still consume energy cost. And then on top of that, there's always going to be a token that's going to be GPU mining. So even though if it like Ethereum goes to a proof of stake and you go to you drop mining, all that's going to happen is people who purchase those GPU miners, they're just going to mine another coin. And not every coin is going to go to a proof of stake. There's not that many coins that do proof of stake, and the coins that do proof of stake, they're all dead coins. All right, proof of stake does not work very well. So far, there's not a very successful proof of stake coin that I know of. All the ones that I know are nothing more than pump and dump. All right, they're pump and dumps, or they basically die a slow death. If anything. Hey, Crypto Cartel, welcome to the chat. You didn't miss much, not much at all. The fun's just beginning. So if you consider the mining industry, the GPU miners are basically your at-home miners, and they're using the electricity available to them, and the rate of the electricity that they're using is probably not as good as probably some of the mining farms in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has become so specialized that they've been forced to look for alternative mining sources, whether it be renewable or very cheap, whatever it may be. GPU miners probably use electricity coming from your natural gas turbines, your coal power plants, and even your nuclear, if you consider that environmental. Ironically, nuclear power, there's two types of nuclear power. I don't know the names of them, But the ones that are mainly used, the ones that produce the most amount of waste, are the ones that are the ones that are most available here in America. The other type of nuclear power plants actually produce very little waste. As a matter of fact, the waste that they produce can also be used to produce more energy. The only issue is the cost to build those kind of nuclear power plants costs more money, and they don't produce or output enough that much power compared to the nuclear power plants that you have right now. The nuclear power plants you have now produce more energy, but they also produce toxic waste, ironically. So long-term thinking, if you had the option, you would have the nuclear power plant that produces the least amount of waste, but does produce enough energy to have enough power. But the problem is that it costs more to do that. So nuclear. If you use the right type of nuclear power, it is renewable. It is renewable because you can take the waste and actually use the waste to produce power, right? So it's very, very renewable. Long term, it produces more energy. Long term, problem is it costs a lot more to build those kind of nuclear power plants. What other options? Hydroelectric powers. You see a lot of Chinese miners mining around the electric dams. So, if anything, the cryptocurrency space has really adopted alternative energy more than what we've seen today. And the people who whine and cry about this the most, I mean, if you think about it, they are probably the most hypocrite about it. If you really want to reduce your footprint, you literally have to live in a cave, or you have to live in the boondocks with no electricity, and that's not going to happen. And you have to stop driving your car. And I don't know anybody who's willing to live their life without a car. It's very difficult. So you have no car, and you have no electricity. And if that's the case, you're probably not even watching this video. So I'm just reading the chat right now. Jacob TS says, burst is the worst. FUD Machine says, POS, first sign of a shitcoin. And then Dual Overhead Cabinet says, POS is piece of shit. Very funny, guys. Very funny. Yes. So, yeah. And so, yeah, can the environment shoulder the cost of crypto mining? I think, if anything, the crypto mining space has utilized more of the alternative energy that is offered than anybody else, than any other industry. Even wind power. Wind power probably, wind power doesn't produce enough. I don't know if it produces enough. You need a lot of wind power. Although when I drive to California, I think it's a Desert Palm. I think in Desert Palm, there's a whole bunch of wind turbines that basically, I think most of that power goes to generate electricity for the casinos out there. So, it seems like wherever people can make money, they can utilize alternative energy. So yeah, I think, if anything, the greatest use case for Bitcoin, because of the intensive energy it takes to secure the network and to generate new Bitcoins, is eventually it's in the best interest of Bitcoin users to discover a cheaper energy source. And I think ultimately that would be Bitcoin's possible greatest use case. It will incentivize all of humanity to find an energy source that is cleaner, cheaper, and possibly, if not infinite, more renewable. Renewable meaning that the source of energy is cheaply obtainable, whatever it may be. Now, I don't know what it is. Cold fusion, I've heard that for a long time. I don't know if that's real. It could be just a regular, more efficient nuclear power, perhaps. People should really consider nuclear, because nuclear is. I know it's ironic to say this. Nuclear power, if done correctly, if done in the right way, is renewable, produces less waste, and overall the life of the plant will generate more electricity per dollar. For the bang, you get more bang for the buck. The only problem is that if you do it, the type of nuclear power plant that I'm talking about, it costs more, takes longer to build, and more expensive to maintain. So that's only current technology. I don't know what the future technology will have in store for us. If there is some kind of future technology, then so be it. But I do think the money that you see are being generated from Bitcoin, a lot of that money will go into energy sources, creating or discovering new energy sources. So this nonsense about is Bitcoin mining wasteful? You have to consider what Bitcoin mining has done. It is using renewable energy or alternative energy sources, geothermal, hydroelectricity. It hasn't gone to wind or solar yet, but maybe there'll be enough funding to do that, to keep mining, right? Because the incentives are there, where you literally have to put research into mining. Without it, we're all screwed. All our Bitcoins are worthless. All right, so let's go on to the next thing here. All right, so Bitcoin becomes second most popular Wikipedia page. Let me see. DD8209 says, litter exercise bikes all over the city that pays out in Bitcoin. Solve the weight, economic, and job crisis. Start paying people to ride their bikes. Yeah. But the problem is, people are too lazy. And I do have to admit, we're probably living in a great time. We are all living in a great time. We have electricity. We have enough food. We have all the amenities that most people would, consider a luxury, and yet we still think it's not good enough, which I find ironic. I think it's really a matter of personal preference. Some people want more because they can. Unfortunately, people who make or earn a high income are also the ones that actually are probably the most wasteful. Now, when I say they earn high income, I mean they work. They actually put time in to earn that income, and they're high income earners. They're also probably the most wasteful, unfortunately. So it's kind of sad that you work so hard to be just wasteful, and then you're also broke. But you're also wasteful as far as resources. You burn the most electricity. You burn the most. You waste a lot of money. You buy these exotic cars that don't do anything. It doesn't. I mean, yeah, it's kind of nice to have, but I mean, does it really get you laid more often? Probably not, unless you're a pimp. Now, if you're a pimp and you need that car because that's part of being a pimp, right? But if you're just a regular guy and you have an exotic car like a Chevrolet or whatever, a Lambo, I don't think it helps get you laid all that much more. Matter of fact, it's more of a liability. You have to pay more insurance. You have to pay higher costs for maintenance, and buying a car is a total bad investment. Let me see. It says DD8209. You're very active today. So it says James Bond. We would have the best shaped buns in the world. Maybe, maybe if everybody got on one of those bikes that helps generate electricity, maybe, maybe. But the problem is that the energy that someone produces, uh, physically, you have to make up for that for consumption in your diet. Somehow that energy comes from somewhere, typically from the sun. Let's all energy basically comes, most 99% of the energy that people use, or physically as well in their bodies, all that energy comes from the sun. And so when um, you get on a bike and you pedal and you're producing electricity, let's say you're producing electricity, whatever. Well, now you need that same amount of energy that you put into that bike, you need to replenish into yourself. And so I guess you can go and eat it, but even then it takes energy. A lot of people complain about fossil fuels. You know how much fossil fuels are used in your life and you don't even know it? How about this? If there's any women watching, all your makeup come from fossil fuels, if not most of it. Um, did you use anything that's a piece of plastic, like your phone is a piece of plastic? How about the medical industry? They all use plastic because it doesn't attack the immune system, or the immune system doesn't attack plastic, doesn't reject it. Plastic comes from fossil fuels. What else? Paint comes from fossil fuels. So you don't want your car painted, you don't want your house painted. There are so many things that comes from fossil fuels other than gas and natural gas, or burning fuel for electricity. A lot of chemicals comes from fossil fuels. And so there's probably not one thing in your life right now that doesn't use any fossil fuel. Matter of fact, if you don't use any fossil fuel, you'll probably live in the mountains or in a cave, most likely. Fertilizer uses a lot of the ingredients comes from fossil fuels. So the food we eat, all right, right, uses fossil fuels. Matter of fact, the food that you're eating or have been eating, it came on a truck somewhere, delivered to the grocery store or to the restaurant. So even then, it's still using fossil fuels. So people who are all social justice warriors or eco warriors, who want to be environmental or whatever, I don't think they really realize the cost to what they're asking for. The cost and the sacrifice are the things we need to do without. Then I don't think they realize they realize what they're asking for. They're asking everybody to go back to the Stone Ages, which is ridiculous. No one's going to go back to the Stone Ages, not on purpose anyway. So, anyways, let me go back on this. Bitcoin becomes second most popular Wikipedia page. So let's scroll down. Let's take a look at this. Let's read the first paragraph here. Bitcoin reached the second most popular article on Wikipedia Friday, and third on Saturday. Data reveals in a mark of just how mainstream the cryptocurrency is becoming. This is amazing. I've seen this. This has been trending for a while, and I think it correlates with the price, of course. As the price goes up, more and more people want to understand what is Bitcoin. I think my last episode yesterday, I left the link for Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live mentions Bitcoin in a obviously in a satire skit, but even then, just that it's pretty impressive. It just, a lot of normal people who never heard of Bitcoin is now probably Googling it, researching it, looking into it. They're probably in the forums and everything. So if you have someone new who asks about Bitcoin, let's be nice and let's be friendly. Let's try to be patient and convey some understanding and empathy and educate. Please educate. All right, and let's not be harsh. Let's not be too harsh. All right. There's a chance for a lot of people to get involved. Probably most of them are just in it for the money. But if you can get like at least a third of those people to stick around, even when after the market crashes, and let them and have those third of those people become like pretty much die-hard Bitcoin users, real strong believers in cryptocurrency, um, then that the network effect is really taking place. And then after a while, they'll reach out. Hopefully, they'll reach out, or there's just more people power to go out there and uh, spread that use all over the world. You know what I'm saying? So as more people come into this movement, more people can reach out into the movement, have a reach out, and bring more people involved into the movement. So the more people, it just exponentially, the movement of this concept of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies can just mushroom out really big. I mean, it could spread very quickly. In some ways, it already is, and to some degree, it's being tainted in some ways by other users. As you can tell, as the movement grows, it's being fractured. Other factions of this movement who have their point of view or their way of trying to shape the movement in their own way, they're fracturing off and everything. And you're seeing that now with all these hard forks and all these altcoins as well. To some degree, all these altcoins, not all of them, most of them are scam coins. They're shit coins for the most part. But for example, you look at Ethereum, you look at Dash, you look at Monero. Those are just fractured groups of what essentially was Bitcoin in the beginning. So, but as more and more people come in, you have to be patient and welcome, and try to explain how this technology works. All right, none of this, voodoo, hoodoo, BS. Just explain how it works. It's not going to save the whales, or let me see, save the planet. Hodl Bitcoin. Hold on to dear life. It's not. Is Bitcoin really going to save the planet? I mean, it's a great way for like normies and maybe these eco and social justice warriors, if you're going to try to reach out to them, save the planet, hodl Bitcoin, because Bitcoin will eventually discover a new energy source, which will save all of humanity. I think that is a great pitch for the use of Bitcoin, even though it's probably most likely, maybe, not necessarily quite true. Okay, so let's see what else is in here. Let me see here. Okay, so by Monday, right here, by Monday, interest had calmed slightly as the futures came and went, with Bitcoin currently occupying 14th place on Wikipedia's ranking. So a little bit down, but what's interesting enough is that the search has topped Trump and Robert Mugabe, and it also continues to beat Kim Kardashian and other popular media figures. So Bitcoin is on a social media, as far as social engineering, is outperforming even Donald Trump, Robert Mugabe, and even Kim Kardashian. So this is amazing. Let's see what else. Online trends all point to Bitcoin. So how about this? Check this out. Bitcoin, I don't know if this is good or bad, but Bitcoin is outperforming Pokemon, which I think is great. I guess there's, a lot of kids who still search Google. And so at least Pokemon, Bitcoin's beating out Pokemon. I don't know if that means anything. But as long as Bitcoin continues its awareness stream, I think that's just better overall. Again, most of these people will probably are in it for the money or out of curiosity, and I think it's the duty of everybody in the space to educate and not try to scam. A lot of these people are probably going to get scammed by you know very bad actors, most likely. But if, like I said, a third of them are willing to stick it out, even after when the market crashes, that is more of a network effect. So the next round of people that come in, there's even more people power, human resources, right, involved in this overall, in some ways, decentralized movement, right? There's no leader in this. So anyways, and even Coinbase is benefiting because their app seems to be on the top 20 most popular downloads in the US App Store. So everyone's excited about this. Everyone's getting excited. So this is good. Excellent. All right. So what am I going to do next? I said I was going to go over. Hold on here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I'm just going to open another browser here. Hold on here. And I'm going to go look up Super Bitcoin. Q Burrow, you're saying, what's bad about Bitcoin? How about the criminals in Bulgaria? Well, if those criminals were smart, they should have secured their Bitcoins a little bit better and they would have been billionaires. So I'm sharing my screen again. All right, so we'll take a look at Super Bitcoin here as soon as it could load up. Close some of these. So while that's loading up, I'm going to go ahead and refresh the bond trading view. All right, so let's have the bond trading view. Looks like the price is going back up slightly more. Let's see what it is in Bitcoin value. Well, if you have these altcoins, you're making more Bitcoin. That's for sure. Okay, so here's Super Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Super Bitcoin one more time. Here we go. All right, let's see what's interesting, because by tomorrow we're all going to get Super Bitcoin. Each and every one of us. All right, so let's see here. Well, it still says, okay, so it's changed. It says December 12th. So this has changed, looks like. 2017, December 12th. So the block is coming really soon. All right. Here's the team again. They're still the same. They're still Chinese. Okay. And see, let's see what their Twitter says. And then what exchanges are supporting this? So of course, Bitfinex is supporting them. OK Exchange, Hobu. That's the only ones I recognize. Gate.io, Sex.com, Other than that, I don't recognize any of these. They look mostly Asian exchanges. Hey, what's up, Richie Rich? How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Richie Rich, you're so funny. Richie Rich says Bitcoin is stopping crime. Criminals are giving up crime all over the world to become shitcoin traders. Oh, here's another one from Richie Rich. Crime doesn't even pay as much as shitcoin trading. I guess you're right. So let's see if there is a super Bitcoin wallet. Apparently, there must be, well, I guess there's going to be a super Bitcoin wallet if you have your Bitcoin on these exchanges. It doesn't surprise me that Bitfinex is going to be offering this. They have to, because if you take out their Bitcoin, they won't do it. Okay, so here are the two wallets. It's F2. Oh, I'm sorry. Here are the wallets. Bixin, I've never heard of. BitPi. Okay, here it is. Electrum. Apparently, Electrum is going to offer super Bitcoin. I don't know how, but they're going to offer it. Coldlar, and then Buying. Of course, that's not spelled like buying, but I guess it's Chinese. This is the only one I recognize, Electrum. And let's see if this is, I'm going to click onto it. Let's see what it does. Okay, it takes us to Electrum. Well, I don't know. Okay, that's weird. It's just a Bitcoin wallet. It doesn't, it's not super Bitcoin wallet or anything. Maybe Electrum is working on something. Maybe they probably paid Electrum to implement their blockchain. And then here is media and community. So all of these are all look Chinese or something. So anyways, let me see what their tweet says here. Okay, it says here cryptocurrency, crypto exchanges or wallets that would like to support super Bitcoin, ticker symbol SBC, please reply to this tweet or DM us. And they're reaching out to just about everybody: Poloniex, Trezor, BitGo, BitPay, Jax, Bread Wallet, Corbit, Kraken. Let's see if anybody actually replied. What's it say? It says, please. Okay. Any news? No news yet. No one's replied. Yes, Beyond's official policy is to support all forks. So Binance, if Binance will support all forks, so apparently Binance will be another place where you could put your coins if you wanted to. Yeah, that flood machine. Yeah, it looks like they're just listing wallets. I don't see anything from Electrum. I haven't heard any announcement from Electrums. It says Binance support Super Bitcoin. Yes, they support all hard forks. Let me see here. If you join their Telegram group, you know, you might get more information. No news yet. No news yet. They're asking for Koinami. This guy's asking Koinami, but Koinami is pretty silent, and I have to say they are. They probably are waiting for this mainnet to go on. Well, if Super Bitcoin pays these people, maybe they'll actually add it to their wallet. DD8209 says, I bet one day someone will make a browser with built-in wallets. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think, didn't Brave browser do that? Brave browser did something like that, and then they started offering their own tokens, and now they don't have that anymore. They have their their BAT tokens in their browser. Let's see what else. Let's read the rest of this. I don't know why NEM is in here. This guy says, "Good luck, good luck." So much for that. And then there's our list of exchanges. All right, so everybody get ready. Looks like it's going to be forking really soon here. Let's go look under Salome. Actually, you know what? Let's see if they're actually super Bitcoin. Let's see if there's any futures. No futures yet. How about SBT? No futures yet. Okay. All right. So let's go here. Let's see what else we could look up here. Is there anything else? No. I don't know any of these wallets. Here's some pulls. Bitcoin channel F2 pull, and again, you know, FUD machine. You may be right. It may be just they're just listing a bunch of stuff. You know, who knows what's really going on. Hey, Andre Barnwell, how you doing? So there you go. Let's see. What is the total supply purpose of the mine? I think total supply is like 21,210,000 super Bitcoins. They're adding a little pre-mine to it. Okay. I don't know when their mainnet is going, but okay. Well, here you go. Here's one that's happening tomorrow. Tomorrow, everybody. So if you wanna take this, J Blaze 604, welcome to the chat. I don't see Exodus Wallet in here. It doesn't seem like Exodus Wallet is going to be doing any hard forks for Super Bitcoin. But anyways, you never know. Maybe they will. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's go over Salome. Salome.io. I like Salome. Let's see what coins are being pumped today. Let's see if it loads up. Okay, let me see if it clicks the ICO. This is all new on Salome. Okay, so it does. Excellent. So this is Salome.io. And here's all the ICOs that is happening, and it gives you the social volume on the ICOs now. So I'd be careful about these ICOs because most likely these are all going to be considered securities. And you can see like Relisto seems to be a lot of chatter going on with this. The other ones here. Well, that's about it. That's about. Let's look on the higher social volume chart. Social volume here. Bit degree. I don't know what this is, but it sounds like an ICO for like crypto school. INS ecosystem. Okay. Refereum. Relisto seems to be a lot hot. FinTab. Oh my goodness! Like some of these, I stay away from because again, most of these are going to be considered. Most of these are probably going to be considered like securities. To coins. All right, so let's see what's trending out here. What's trending with Salome? Let's go here. Bank X, which is an ICO token. A lot of people talking about that. Singular DTV. I think that's an Ethereum ICO token. Folding coin. I'm kind of curious. What does Singular DTV? Okay, a lot of chatter about Singular DTV. I'm kind of curious to see what's so amazing about this coin. Singular DTV, an ICO Ethereum token, an ERC20 token. In terms of Bitcoin value, man, this thing's a loser. Okay, it starts off here, right? And on the left side of the chart, this is where it starts. Looks like just barely above 2,500 satoshis. On the right side, now it's like literally worth what? What's it worth today? 911 satoshis. This thing is a loser. This thing is not. This thing's obviously a bad deal. And you know what? I'm going to assume that all ERC20 tokens probably have a chart like this because it did pump in the summer when there was like nobody was enforcing any SEC regulations. Now that the SEC regulations and the enforcement actions are taking place, you're going to start seeing the chart just slowly go down. And as far as Bitcoin value, and also Bitcoin has been going up in price. So Jacob TS says they are a TV and video taking on Hollywood, working with the movie and TV music industry, built on Ethereum. Singular DTV. Well, I wish them the best of luck, but I think they're going to have to. The fact that they probably did an ICO means that they'll probably have to refund all their investors or be penalized, or all the people who invested into this, you're going to lose your money. All right, because the only way to avoid any penalties at this point, because they've already ICO'd for the most part, they would have to return the money, or it would just be a charity. Okay, at this point, you're just giving money to Singular DTV to build this platform, and the tokens would absolutely be useless, and the exchanges would start to delist them. So there you go. This is a bad investment. Let's see what else is trending here. What else is this thing trending? Okay, so that was Singular DT. Folding coin. What is folding coin? Folding coin. Okay, let's see what this. Isn't this thing is supposed to like find your DNA or something? It has something to do with DNA. I'm not sure what this is, but apparently it's trending on Salome, and it looks like it's gone up in price in Bitcoin and in US dollar value. But let's see how it looks. Okay, well, obviously this is nothing but a pump coin. Look at this. This thing barely has a heartbeat to it. And I guess technically you can say, well, I don't know if I can say it, but apparently it's not a good coin. This chart is horrible. It starts off higher and ends up lower. And so yeah, this is probably a coin you want to stay away from. God, this is horrible. Okay. So that's that. Holding coin, and all of a sudden it's trending for no reason. Ethereum Classic. Let's take a look at Ethereum Classic. Yeah, folding coin is some kind of research coin. Uh, People like talk about it like I've seen other YouTubers like mention folding coin like it does something amazing. I don't see anything amazing about the coin itself other than it's just a way for people to trade. All right, so here's Ethereum Classic, and yeah, Ethereum Classic also does not look that great. Although it did start very low right here, lower on the left side of the chart, and is barely higher on the right side of the chart. But overall, this thing has not performed because compared to Bitcoin, what you want is you want to see the right side of the chart. You want to see these lines go up to the upper right, not to the bottom right. And stay at the bottom right. You want these lines ending up at right here on the top right of the chart, not on the bottom right of the chart. So okay, Ethereum. I know a lot of people like Ethereum Classic and they admire it, but if you look at the chart, it's not a good performing chart compared against Bitcoin. All right, so that's VeChain. Let's take a VeChain is pumping for some reason. Let's take a look at VeChain. Okay, VeChain, VEN, VEN. All right, let's take a look at this here. Okay, this is also not a very good investment, and I'll tell you why. It's very simple. The Bitcoin value on the right side of the chart or on the left side of the chart is higher, and on the right side it ends up being lower. So that's a bad investment. If you were holding on to this coin, this is a bad investment coin, and not only that, you're losing opportunity being in this coin versus Bitcoin, in which you could have made way more money. When you look at these coins, you compare them to Bitcoin, these coins don't look very good at all. They don't look very good at all. Okay, so let's see here. Folding coin, Vencoin. What's trending? Vencoin on Reddit and on Twitter. I don't know why they're trending. Bancor is trending. Let's take a look at Bancor real quick. Or Bancor. ENT, Bancor. I don't even know what this is. Wow. What is this? ERC20 token? Yeah, look at that. So this is an ERC20 token. It's basically an Ethereum token. And this is probably, I remember Bancor when they first came out, they raised so much millions of dollars that it slowed down the Ethereum network. Now look at it. It's probably slowly dying of a slow death because the SEC is going to come in and they're going to basically probably shut this company down. They're going to file, they're probably going to charge them with severe penalties. They probably have to give their money back to the investors, which they probably spent their money wasting time. This is a complete waste of time and money, people. Waste of time of energy. You would have been better off. You would have. I honestly think you would have been better off just holding your Ethereum. Not even bothering with this. But obviously, the early investors dumped on the newer investors. So, hey, how you doing? Pisces Trade Rules 373. So it looks like this is trying to get pumped again here. Here. Okay, Bancor on Twitter. Library credits. Oh gosh. Some of these I don't even want to talk about. Okay, so let's see what's pumping these days. Litecoin is pumping big time. That's on my list. Let's take a quick look at it. Litecoin is a lot of people talking about Litecoin like it's doing something great. Let's see if it is. Now I've already looked at Litecoin, and but we'll take a look at it one more time again. So it had a small spike recently, and now you're getting, instead of 0.009 Bitcoin, you're getting 0.014 Bitcoin. So it's had its spike, but if I'm looking overall long term on this, it's still lower. It's still lower. You know, it starts off on the left side higher, and ends up on the right side lower. If it can start breaking certain key points, like if it can break 0.02 Bitcoin, if it can break 0.02 Bitcoin, it might have a chance. It might, but I have a sneaky suspicion that Litecoin, as I reported yesterday, live stream, the reason why Litecoin's being pumped is because people are buying Litecoin on Bitfinex to pull out their money. That's all they're doing. And so it wouldn't surprise me if people on Bittrex and whatever, Poloniex and some of these other exchanges that accept Tether, that Litecoin's being used. And yeah, you know, Litecoin is faster, right? And it is cheaper in transaction fees. So that's the other thing. But as soon as that stops, I have a feeling that just like most, history is repeating itself, it will just go down in value in Bitcoin, because not because the price of Litecoin is going to go down, but the price of Bitcoin is going to go up even higher. How you doing, Warren Bottoms? What's up? Just having a Monday morning talk here. And then Litecoin here. Litecoin's getting a nice pump in social media as well, which correlates to a nice pump. So I think it's being pumped a little bit. I think it is. But I think eventually it's going to go down as well. Let's see if we can find another one that's being highly pumped, or rather a lot of social media volume. BChain, we already talked about that. That thing is dead. Folding coin, horrible investment. Coin volume, maybe in US dollars, yeah, you'll make some money. Bancor, Singular DTV, same thing. It's slowly dying. And then Populous is actually being pumped again in social media, PPT. But let's have a look at its overall. I know PPT, we've talked about that quite a bit. Yeah, Richie Rich, I did notice that Charlie Lee was talking about Litecoin on CNBC. I think I saw on the YouTube feed he talked to Glenn Beck as well. And, you know, I think the timing's pretty good. But again, I think it has a lot to do with Bitcoin having a very low, very high transaction fee, and then very long time to confirm. Other than that, I'm not too sure. Populous looks like it's starting to make more Bitcoin here, starting to make more Bitcoin. So if you have Populous, you might want to start looking. You might want to start looking for an exit if your goal is to make more Bitcoin here. Let's have a look at what is going on with Populous. Oh, that's all right. Ken token. Are they? Is this the Kick token, or is this something else? Let's have a look at Ken. KIN. Kin. I think Kin tokens are like the Kick tokens, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like they finally did get listed. What markets are they on? Ether Delta. Okay, yeah, this is an ERC20 token. I have a sneaky suspicion that this is not going to look so good. Oh yeah. Okay. So they didn't really. They didn't. They're not on any exchanges. They're on Ether Delta, which is just a place to dump your tokens for Ethereum, and that's basically what's happening. So a lot of people are just talking about Kick or Ken tokens, and this is another bad investment by people who shouldn't be investing at all for the most part. So that's up 700%. Match pool. We'll take a look at match pool. Guppy, GUP, GUP. Another Ethereum tokens. I have a feeling that like most ERC20 tokens, they're probably headed downwards. Let me see here. This is another Ethereum token. Yeah, this is this is horrible. This is really really bad. I would avoid ERC20 tokens. I would avoid ERC20 tokens like the plague. All right, because SEC is gonna be coming after these people who started fundraising, and if most likely they're going to be penalized, they're going to be forced to give the money back. If not, they're going to be taken to court for unlicensed security offering, and most likely any money that they have made or did make, they're going to get taken away. They're going to get their assets frozen, and worst case scenario, probably also go to jail. So, wow. So things are not looking good for some of these companies here or some of these projects. So this is on Salome.io. Go ahead and check it out. It's a good way to measure the social volume. Remember, a lot of these tokens are not companies. They're not. They don't produce any product. They don't offer any service. The only way you can get price action movement is through social media to socially engineer you to buy into it. All right, so let's go to my charts here. So, all right, so let's take a look at the short list here. Uh, Ethereum is high priority. So let's take a look at Ethereum real quick. Let's see how Ethereum is doing compared to Bitcoin, considering the SEC ruling, or not the SEC ruling, but the SEC enforcement action taking place. Okay, looks like it's taking a dead cat bounce compared to Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the last 3 days here. $11.07 is the 12th. So 09. 9. Well, I think it should be the 8th. 8th. There we go. ERC 420. Q bro, you're funny. ERC 420. All right, so let's have a look at Ethereum the last 3 days. And okay, yeah. Let me see, November. I don't know why I'm looking at November. Sorry about that. This should be December. December. There we go. So far, it's been trending down, if you all want to know. But okay, so let's have a look at the last 3 days of Ethereum, and let's see what's happening. Yeah, it looks like a dead cat bounce. It has gone up in value, but I don't think it's going to go any higher. I think it's just keeping up with Bitcoin at most. And I have a feeling if Ethereum's going to go up, that means Bitcoin's going to go up as well. It's going to retake. It's going to just retake over Ethereum, whatever gains Ethereum had and there's a good chance that if you have Ethereum, you might want to consider exiting and getting more Bitcoin out of this, because in my opinion, it's an opportunity cost lost with all these other altcoins. You're wasting your time and your money um, investing in these altcoins, unless you're trying to scalp or you're trying to, again, take money from other greater fools, which you can. That's a good way to try to make more Bitcoin. But overall, as long-term investment, Ethereum's I don't think is a very good investment. Also considering that the greatest use case for Ethereum was to make these tokenized assets, and now these tokenized assets are going to pretty much become useless because no one's going to use them, because they can no longer generate money or income from these ICOs. And so the party's over, and anybody else who continues on with this is going to go to jail. Okay, so let's go over Litecoin. I think I went over Litecoin, so I can skip that. I went over Populous. What's the one? Stratus. Okay, we're going to go over Stratus now. And let's take a look at Strat. STRAT, Stratus. We'll take a look at Stratus. Okay, Stratus. I don't know what it is, but wow. Wow. This is, here you can look at it two ways. You could say to yourself, hey, this is a great buying opportunity to get into Stratus because it's leveling out and it might go up. I don't think so, because we're in a bull market, and the price for Stratus compared to Bitcoin doesn't look like a bull market. Okay, I bet you in dollar volume. Let me see what it is in dollar price. Okay, so in US dollars, Stratus is doing great. Okay, Stratus is doing wonderful. But in Bitcoin terms, it sucks. And if Stratus is in a US dollar bull market, again, most of these coins are nothing more than fractional representations of Bitcoin. So when these exchanges, they have these tokens, right, available, these shit coins for the most part available for you to buy, and you're going to be buying them with Bitcoin, you are swapping your Bitcoin for this token. And the value of this token is based on the value of Bitcoin that you swapped for it. And so on some exchange somewhere on the internet, there are Bitcoins that are on this exchange that has been parked on these exchange for Stratus tokens. And that's what's the value. The value of Stratus is that Bitcoin token that you gave up. And so when you think about the opportunity that you lost, right? The opportunity cost that you lost in making more money versus trying to make more money with these altcoins. Yes, you made money, but you would have made even more money, even way more money, just keeping your Bitcoin. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I think it's recently gone up, but if you have this token, you might want to start looking for an exit. I mean, I'm looking at this thing. I guess yes. On the left side, it is lower. On the right side, it is higher. But I'm looking at this big old pump that was probably done in the summer. Yep, done in the summer. And now it's just slowly going down. And I wouldn't recommend. I never recommend an altcoin. So, well, I do. Monero and Dash seem to be a way you can make more Bitcoin. There's enough greater fools giving up their Bitcoin for Monero and Dash. Maybe people actually use them. I think Monero has probably a lot of use cases where a Bitcoin user would use it. So they would put their Bitcoin in there and they would take it out at some other point in time. So it's become its own store of value for Bitcoin in some ways. Dash, I'm not quite sure what its use case, but it seems like a lot of people are parking their Bitcoins into Dash, and then you could simply scalp the Dash by trading those. So Stratus is making a Tumblebit wallet. So maybe the use case is people can park their Bitcoin to hide their Bitcoins, then pull out their Bitcoin at a later time. I mean, I guess you can do that, but you're taking the risk of other people taking those Bitcoins before you can take them out. And so when by the time you come back, there may not be enough Bitcoins than what you actually put in. So why would you even take that risk? And not only that, I think Bitcoin is working on some kind of tumblebit, right? Some kind of privacy feature to it. So why not just wait? Why 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 waste your Bitcoin and time and energy into something that Stratus is working on? You say Stratus is a client Shizbig says Stratus is basically a complete C# implementation of Bitcoin protocol, can be useful for programmers for application if it will work. Well, if you want to risk your Bitcoin that is valuable, that does work on Stratus, you want to park your Bitcoin into Stratus and allow other people who have been parked in Stratus to get your Bitcoin, and you want to risk that, go ahead. I would, if that's what you want to do. But again, I think Bitcoin's working on that same feature, and when it does, what good is Stratus, right? And you risk your Bitcoin, and you basically put your Bitcoin at risk that other people can take it from you by being in Stratus. That's just my opinion. Of course, my opinion is probably like just I'm not too very fond of some of these altcoins, you could tell, but I'll tell you how it is. I'll tell you what it's like. Waves. We'll take a look at Waves again. Okay, Waves. WAVES, just like it says, Waves, just like the word. Waves. Okay, we'll compare it to Bitcoin here. Overall look at it. I think I already took a look at Waves, didn't I? Oh yeah. Yeah, I already took a look at Waves. You're wasting your time with Waves. Anybody who puts money in Waves, you're just risking profits. You're risking making more money with Bitcoin than you are making. I don't care what Waves is claiming that they do. I don't care what partnerships they have. The chart tells me otherwise. It tells me this isn't good. This is not good at all. Not a very good investment. And then Ardor is back again. Ardor is back again. What is going on with Ardor? Why is this thing being pumped? AD Ardor. ADR. AR. I think it's ARD. There he goes. ARDR. ARDR is Ardor. And again, I still don't know what this coin is all about. I'm just looking at the charts, and I'm just giving you my analysis, just looking at it. Price versus a Bitcoin. Well, I don't like it. I personally don't like it because you can't break above 5,000 Satoshis. But it seems like you can trade in a range. At least the last 2 months, you could trade a range in Ardor, and it's possible you could make more Bitcoin with this trade. But overall, it doesn't look like it's making more Bitcoin overall. It's your typical altcoin that pumped during the middle of the summer, and since then it hasn't recovered, and it's just waiting for more greater fools to put into it. Maybe people are buying in it and accumulating. The thing about accumulating Ardor and waiting for a pump is, again, you're missing an opportunity to make even more money with Bitcoin right now. while the Bitcoin price is moving up, is going up. And so while you're waiting for a pump to come by to get you rich, Bitcoin price is already moving up. You could be rich right now. And by the time the pump happens, you end up not making any more Bitcoins. You made more money. You may make as much money as someone did a day ago with 1 day's worth of price action movement is what you'll make in money for the lifetime of Ardor price action movement. So, but that's my opinion. That's my opinion. I just think you're just losing an opportunity to make even more money. All right, so BAT, let's take a quick look at BAT again. BAT. I think BAT is an ERC20 token again. I think what's going to happen is this if it is going to be a utility token, it's not going to be traded on the exchanges anymore. Otherwise, it would be considered a security. And oh my gosh, look at this. Yeah, this is not a good investment. If you have BAT token, this is probably the best time. Well, there are plenty of other times, but if you are a bag holder and you're gonna wait, I don't think it's a good idea to keep holding onto this token. It just doesn't. It's not performing. It's not making any more Bitcoin for you. So you should probably stop. Get rid of it. Get rid of this token. All ERC20 tokens are probably going to have this very similar chart where it just higher on the left side, lower on the right side. And again, that's because its usefulness as a regulatory arbitrage is done. Okay, people took advantage of the inaction of the SEC. Now that the SEC is taking enforcement actions, the usefulness of the Ethereum network and the ERC20 tokens are it's not there anymore. Okay, let's take a look at another one again. NEM. NEM's the last one here. Let's take a look at NEM real quick. NEM or XEM? XEM. XEM is NEM. I don't know why they just didn't take NEM for it. Sorry. XEM. Warren Bottom says only buy alts with Ether payments from Genesis Mining. Oh, God. That man, you're killing me. You're making me laugh. That's a good one. I don't know if the price is up or the price is down, but I guess you can say overall, if you this thing has made more Bitcoin technically. I guess you could say if you bought NEM, if you're the few lucky to receive NEM for nothing, for free from Mr. Long Dong, I think what's the guy's name? Long Dong Silver, the porn actor or something. I know. I think it's some Chinese guy. His name is Long and first name is Long, last name is Dong, or something. If you're the fortunate few to receive like 18,000 NEM tokens for whatever being a supporter, then yes, overall you've done good. The right side is higher side, but looking at this, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. And here's the thing: we're in a bull market, and if we're in a bull market, this chart should tell you that Bitcoin has outperformed NEM, and so NEM is not a good. I don't think it's a good investment. I don't think it is. So I haven't seen most altcoins I have are really not really good investments. Okay, so that's it for that. All right, so let me now go into the chart analysis here. Let's see here. We looked at the mempool. We looked at trade. I guess I can just go straight into Bitcoin. It's getting late here now. All right, where are we at? We're at $16,350. Look here. Wow. All right. That looks really good. I don't even know if I should do a chart analysis. I mean, what's the point? I know it's going to go up. It's made an all-time high of 17,270. I guess I could just take a quick look at the hourly real quick, and we'll find out what's going on. I don't see any issues here. It's breaking. It's made an all-time high of 7,270. Let's have a look at some support areas. No, not there. Here's some support areas right here. Okay. And I guess we could, let me use the other previous all-time high. All right, so there it is. I don't think it doesn't seem like it's wanting to go down. I did see this area right here. I see this kind of moving down in price, but it doesn't seem to want to go down. If you look at the moving average here on an hourly, it's pretty strong. It looks pretty strong. It really does. On the RSI showing that it's bouncing off the 50 here. So if it is trending upwards and it's a bull market, it's most likely going to go up again. It'll go above the previous all-time high, which is this line, which is what, 16. Let me see here. What is this? 16,600. Once it breaks above that, it'll probably hit up against the all-time high again. And by that time, if it's hitting up against the all-time high again, it's just going to keep going up. It's 21,000 seems very plausible. I mean, it just look how much the price moves. It moves in $1,000 in one day. So we have the rest of December, which gives it a plenty of time to move $1,000 in one day. It just needs to move $1,000 3 days to the upside from where it is now, and you're up to $20,000. This is getting crazy. So, okay. Well, let me take out these lines. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, but I guess for some people this is like they're wondering if they should buy. And here's the crazy thing. Okay, if you look at the RSI is going down, but the price is going up. Now, normal people would say, well, the RSI is going down. If you see that, it's peaked out right here, and then it's come down, and this little movement in price right here has caused the price of the all-time high to go up. If you look at that, I mean, you would say to yourself that the market may be crashing. There may be impending crashing. My experience when I see that, it tells me that the market is winding up for another push. Now, maybe it's winding up for a push down. Maybe. But considering it just made another all-time high, I don't see the market or the exchanges or people who are trading, I don't see them trying to push this price down. What I see is the price being pushed up. So as long as the price is above the spot price is above the moving average, both of them, the short term is trending up, the long term is trending up, there's probably a really good chance the price is going to go up, because if all the other altcoins are trending up in price, that typically tells me, there's no reason why altcoins would be trending up in price other than the anticipation that eventually all the money that goes into these altcoins are going to end up into Bitcoin again. So I see another price. I think the price is going to be trending up for Bitcoin as well. RSI is going down. but you're making higher highs. Look at that. The RSI is just going down now. It may go down. It might. The price might go down, but the all it takes is just a little movement on the upside on the RSI for the price to just make another all-time high. This is it could be winding up for a price to go down. I mean, that's possible too, but it just the price is just very strong. And again, what you're seeing here is the price of Bitcoin is higher than the spot price, so that usually means it's going to go up. And here you are again, and it made another all-time high here. A small gap here, but I don't think we have to worry because this previous red candlestick filled this gap, and most likely for the week, this will. I think this candlestick for the 3-day. I'm on the 3-day here. Will end up higher. Will end up higher. It just looks and makes sense. All right, now let's go to the 1 week. All right, the 1 week looks great. If you look at this candlestick, the body of this candlestick is basically filling the wick of this candlestick. And if this candlestick has a wick up on top, it's usually an indication that the price, there's more pressure for the price to go up. If you just look at that. And again, by the time another week goes by, this moving average will probably move up higher and closer to the bottom of this candlestick. You know, everyone should have bought at these bottoms right here, right? Everyone should have bought at these bottoms. Hindsight 2020. The RSI on the 1 week is bullish. It's bullish. Bullish. I don't know how much longer it can go, but at this point, you know, it's well above like 70. It's like in the 80s. Where is it? It's like literally in the 80s. It may even go up to the 90s, the RSI level, which means like all it has to do is just the RSI has to just move up like 1 point, and the price will probably move like $2,000 or $3,000. It's just showing the massive momentum of the price pushing up from it, you know. And yes, I have Bitcoin. Okay, I'm gonna let it. Maybe I should disclose. I own Bitcoin. That's about. Actually, I own some. What else do I own? I own some. I own Litecoin. I do own like a fraction of Ethereum. I own some Pivx. I own Monero. I own some Dash. Most of these altcoins that I received were donations, so maybe I should disclose that. But the bulk of my holdings is in Bitcoin, and so maybe I'm just biased, but I don't think I'm biased. I mean, I think I'm a fairly intelligent person who's able to make you know, intelligent decisions, and so far, from my experience and the things that I know, everything tells me that people of all the coins, of all the cryptocurrencies that are being used, Bitcoin is the one and only cryptocurrency that really has use outside of the exchanges. And for me, that's what tells me that Bitcoin is the one that everyone should be in. If you want to gamble and you know, trade and basically bet, you're just, it's a casino. You're betting up, down. So 40% chance up, 40% chance down, 20% chance going sideways. You're gambling. You're playing a video game. Unless you're actually using Bitcoin in the real world, trading peer to peer, you'll understand at that point. You'll understand that the real money is in Bitcoin and not in these altcoins that people are. I don't know what they're doing. They're making videos or they're playing a game. Matter of fact, I mean, there's nothing for me to do. There's no line. There's no Fibonacci. There's no Ikimoku, whatever Ikimoku clouds to put up. Just if you just look at this thing, you would clearly just understand that the price is going to go up, and the fundamentals of how Bitcoin works, it makes sense. It makes sense. And if you look at the past cycles of how Bitcoin works, you know that the price is going to go up. Eventually, it will come down. It'll probably make a retracement, a very long retracement, or you could say a bear market. But if you're new to this game, then you're coming in this blind. If you've been in this game for a while, you'll know what to expect. Price will go up. Eventually, it will reach a point, and then depending on how many people are going to hold versus how many people are going to sell, it all depends on how many new people are coming in versus how many of the old people are holding. And I think there's a lot of people who are holding. All right, there's a lot of people who will not sell their coins, and so all the new people that are coming in, they'll be selling their coins, and so there will be a retracement. But I would take that opportunity to buy more coins, right? Because eventually the market will go back up. You'll have the remaining people the new people who did come in. I think 30% of those people will stick around and keep trading and stay in the game. Everybody else will leave, and then only to come back later when the price is high once again, and they'll come back like where they left off, which would be around 17,000, and then the price would probably most likely even, I'm going to say, even go higher, because historically that's what it's done. It just goes up higher and higher and higher. If you understand how Bitcoin works and the fundamentals, 21 million cap. I believe there's really only 5 million out in the market. All the rest of it's either lost or people are holding. And so, uh, anyways, let me, I'm ranting, but I just, some things are a no brainer, but, people always, it almost seems like if it's no matter how much you try to explain to somebody, even you show them the facts, you show them evidence to prove your point, some people already have it made up in their mind that they can do better than you uh, by whatever doing whatever they do. I guess some people just like learning the hard way. Before I leave on this, let's go to local bitcoins. Go to local bitcoins. Maybe even look at Livecoin. I might even look at Livecoin. Andre Barnwell, you say that you used to use clouds until you realized they weren't meant for the crypto market. I never understood those Ikimoku clouds. Why would I take a signal because it goes into some kind of fuzzy gray shaded area of a chart? That just maybe I didn't. I did some research into it, and really, what I found that works is, believe it or not, some of the most simple indicators and oscillators. Um, Moving averages tend to work really simply with Bitcoin, and then just simple trend lines. Trend lines seem to work well with Bitcoins, and then not much the RSI. The RSI, I mean, I've never seen a chart. I've never experienced a chart where you can be at 80 to 100% or 100 RSI, and that's normal, right? That's normal for Bitcoin. You could be above that 70 points on the RSI, and that's normal. It'll continue to just stay up there above 70. That's crazy. That usually doesn't happen on normal like stocks and even forex charts. And Andre Barnwell, you say you appreciate the chart, so I can share it with my friends who are sound asleep right now and can't take the time to catch up on the breakdown and analysis. Well, thank you for sharing and spreading the good word. anything that helps. I guess anything helps that push the price up. If anything, let's have a look here. I like looking at this because I know the prices are going to be different during the day versus the night, because obviously there's no cash deposits. When if you want a good idea of what the price might be, or where everyone's positioned in the peer-to-peer market, because that's where the real price action is. This is I believe that the peer-to-peer market really is the foundation of Bitcoin's value. I really do. Um, so in the morning, take a look at this. If it's $2,000 to $3,000 more, I mean, if you look at the prices, that should tell you where people are willing to sell and where people are willing to buy. And if the prices are always higher, the prices will always be higher. They're selling at a premium. But the fact that the spread of the price should give you a good indication of what the market, what the real market, a peer-to-peer market, is telling you. And if they're telling you the price is going to go up higher, and they're not willing to sell anything less than X amount of dollars worth of Bitcoin, take that into consideration when you look at your trade, or if you consider if you want to find out what the street value of your Bitcoin is worth. DD8209, you say the teacher always shows up when the student is ready. James Bond. All right. Okay, I guess I'll take that for whatever it's worth. Thank you for that comment. What is there? Was there anything else I wanted to miss? Oh yeah, okay. Last thing before we go, we'll take a look at Livecoin Watch, and we'll take a look at the 30 days. We'll see what good stuff is there. Yeah, let me see. Is this? Might have to close this thing. Nope. Okay, finally it's getting. All right. All right, let's change this. I think one of you guys likes it during the dark. All right, so what I also, let me get rid of this thing here. Okay, what I also found out was that you can actually drag these and move these over to wherever you wanna move them. Just to let you know. So it actually says that right here. It says click and drag column headlines to rearrange them. So another nice feature. I'm really starting to really like Livecoin Watch. But look at these gains on the 30 days here. Bitcoin 135% in 30 days. What is this? Client Shizbig says kitty statistics new on top bar live. Let me see. Is there? Oh, is there really? Oh, right here, kitty statistics. Okay, let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at it. All right, we got some crypto kitties here. So there are 262,443 unique kitties. And if you've seen my previous episodes where I talk about crypto kitties, you'll see that advertisement from USA Spay Your Kitties. I think by the time they get to 9 generations, if they do 2.2 kittens, or if they make 2.2 CryptoKitties, and they keep reproducing them. By the ninth generation, there will be 11 million unique CryptoKitties. So I think at this point they're only at the second. No, they're at the like maybe the third or fourth generation of unique CryptoKitties. Wow. So wow, look at this. 14,000 ether. So they're at 6 million ether, 6 million US dollars sold. Medium sale price is $25. Average sale price is $132.99. Okay, I think it's going to cost you probably $20. I think it's going to cost you $20 to even make a kitty. And then I think on the high side's $132 most likely. The medium is 25.05. Interesting. Let me see. There is a quarterly chart option too. Okay, let's have a look at the. Let's go back to the exchanges. Let me see. Let's have a look at the. Yeah, I did. I changed that. I moved. I changed the chart to be quarterly. No, I don't want you. Go away. Okay. Well, anyways, I did change the chart to be quarterly, and I did a 30-day. I did a longer period. I got rid of the 1 hour, and so this is what it looks like, and I like it. This is really useful. I like the longer term frame because if you're a long term investor, this is what you want. You want to look at the long term. Okay, 135% increase on Bitcoin, 67% increase on Ethereum, 88% increase Bitcoin Cash, 273% increase for Litecoin. That is impressive. IOTA is 687% increase. This is all 30 days. So if you bought all of these a month ago, let me see. Where's Dash? Dash is 141. Monero's at 144% increase. Dollar based. Okay, so that's. I just want to note that NEM is 105% increase. Cardano 293%. Stellar 274%. EOS 279% increase. Let's see, Waves 150% increase. This is again in US dollar. If you compared it in Bitcoin, it'd be a different story. That's the only thing I'd like to see them change. Really, is if they can change the Bitcoin amount. I think they can, but it doesn't change the percentage. Let me see if I do Bitcoin. It does price it out in Bitcoin, but the percentages don't change in Bitcoin. That's the only thing. So I'll just leave it back up to US dollar. Let me see here. US dollar. Let's go and have a look at some other ones. EOS, okay, Waves, Stratus, 192% in US dollar percentage increase. You got to make, I want to make that clear. It's US dollar increase because I already did a Bitcoin analysis against these other altcoins, and they're not so good. Mona Coin, 415% US dollar increase. Ardor, 180% increase against again a 30-day compared to a 30-day moving price here. Next, 828% increase. BitShares 139% increase. Veritasium 165% increase. Einsteinium A 2012% increase in US dollar increase. Tron, 146% increase in US dollar. Dogecoin, 113% increase in US dollar. Have a look at some of these bigger ones here. Wow. Sentiment, what is this? Sentiment Network, SAN, 1,337% increase. So, okay, that was fun. That was fun. Anyway, that's Livecoin Watch. I really like that Livecoin Watch. I think it's probably one of the better listing platforms. All right, I think I'm going to end this live stream. I've gone on long enough, but it seems like some of you guys really enjoy the long live streams here. So thank you for everybody in the live chat. Pisces trait rule 373. Appreciate you. DD8209. Client Shizbig. Q Burrow. Andre Barnwell. Let's see, Richie Rich. Dual Overhead Camness. Warren Bottoms. Let's see. You guys are really chatting it up here. William Campbell. Fud Machine. Merch Studios. Merch Studios, you asked, so which altcoins have been generating more Bitcoins this year? Well, I don't know if they've been generating, like most of the altcoins that I've seen, they don't generate more. They just kind of like range in a certain price. The two coins that I've noticed that have a tendency of actually the possibilities of making more Bitcoin for you seem to be, that I've noticed, are Monero. They are trending upwards, and they have movement in the price of Bitcoin, in which as a trader you can take advantage of that and actually sell at the high, sell at the peak, and buy down at the valleys. So there's chances for you to actually make more Bitcoin, and also Dash. So those are the other two coins that I think you can kind of trade every day and make Bitcoins. Other than that, the rest of these altcoins, you have to wait for a pop. You have to wait for the pump, and that's like a hit or miss. Or unless you're a part of the pump, or you started the pump, you're not going to ever get involved in that. Jacob TS, thank you for showing up. JBlaze 604, thanks for stopping by. Ganshi Rathmore, how you doing? Looks like you welcome back. Looks like you were here for a little bit. And 21 Million Club, thanks for stopping in. You're always stopping by. Appreciate it. Everyone should check out 21 Million. Check out his channel. Let's see here. Crypto Cartel, thank you for stopping by. AQ5, thanks for stopping by. Let me see here. Who else? Will Campbell, yeah, I already mentioned you. And then let's see. Andy Anderson, thank you for stopping by. And M. Rocky, thank you for stopping by. And Julie G, looks like you stopped in pretty early. And Brian, thank you as well. And so, all right, that's about everybody. So thank you very much. Feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment after the live stream. Also, feel free to do a video response. Until next time, everyone, stay tuned. All right, bye bye.